We've got leaked Sony FX3 images. It's chunky yet sleek. It's got a flip screen. But how is it functionally different to the a7S III? This and more after the intro. Hi, I'm Simon. Thanks for tuning in to The Ordinary Filmmaker. Subscribe to get notification of new videos like this one so you don't miss any news, rumors, gear reviews, or tutorials. And to make things just a little bit more exciting, I'm giving away a brand new Canon EOS R5 full-frame mirrorless camera to one lucky viewer. Details are in the description down below, or you can watch this video here, but please look at the terms and conditions as there are some age and location restrictions. And now for the Sony FX3. It looks like those previously leaked images of the Sony FX3 are accurate. Nakashita just released several images of the Sony FX3. It's got a very smooth front face, a bulky back end, and a protruding grip in the front. But the big news for those interested in the FX3 is the flip screen found on the back. No tilt screen here. The FX3 does look clean. It's small, but it's definitely thicker than other Alpha Stills hybrid cameras. It measures 129.7 millimeters by 84.5 by 77.8. Now the Sony a7S III, its biological twin, measures 128.9 by 96.9 by 79.6 millimeters. Now here's a top-down view of each. To borrow a phrase from the candy market, the FX3 is chunky. I just hope it isn't filled with nuts. Now rumors indicated that it did have active cooling, and the thickness would certainly indicate that. I also like the larger protruding front grip, which means it's going to be easier for people with larger hands to grip it. I'm not going to speculate on what each button or dial does. Sony's going to be announcing the new Alpha camera tomorrow at 9 a.m. New York time or 1600 hours Central European time, so we're definitely going to know by then. What I want to know is what we can't see. How will this camera differ from the a7S III? How many new innovations has Sony introduced to this camera? Will it cost the same as the a7S III? Will it have the same sensor? Will it have more detail? And yes, the rumors have given us a bit of a glimpse into that. But we all know how accurate rumors can be, especially when it comes to Sony cameras. I like the Sony a7S III. It's one of the best video-centric cameras out there for the money. Why introduce the FX3 if it isn't noticeably different to the a7S III? And I'm not talking about the size or dimensions. It doesn't have internal ND filters if the rumors can be believed. And this is a common characteristic or feature capability found in cinema cameras. What do you think? How will the FX3 differ from the a7S III? And more importantly, what would it do differently to get you to choose it over the a7S III? Let me know in the comment section down below. And now, let's go behind the scenes. On the weekend, I put out an 8K video. And when I say 8K, I shot the entire thing in 8K, including the studio. And outside, I got some great shots. And you know what? I was truly impressed. I've had the R5 since July, and you know what? 8K never really impressed me. But there's something about getting outside, seeing the snow falling off the trees. We just had about 8 inches of snow, about 20 centimeters, and it was a big fluffy flakes. It was cold, so the crystals were still sharp. And when the snow fell from the trees, with the sun poking through, I was just amazed. And my editing machine over here has a 5K monitor, not 8K. And I was truly amazed with how well it went together. And judging by the comments, you were too. But I want to talk to you about a couple of things. When you're editing the R5, when you're editing in C-Log1, it can be a little bit frustrating. Now with naturescapes, I rarely ever have any issues. I was able to play around with the grading as I needed to. I was able to adjust the exposure. I was able to get the greens in the trees to punch up and the sky blue to punch up a little bit too. And it worked really, really well. I use zebras and I use histograms. And what I generally do is, I know I've talked about histograms, but I'll just quickly check the histogram to see if everything's lined up properly. Then I'll set my zebras to go 70% on the face. And in this case, there's no subject, but still I keep that 70% there, and that tells me where things are starting to get pushed. But I've still got a good lot of light left. And as you can see from that video, go ahead and take a look at some of the shots. But it worked really, really well, and I'm very impressed. And what I've decided to do, I'm going to shoot some more scenes, some more videos, just on naturescapes at 8K. But the lesson learned that I've had with the R5 over the last 5 to 7 months, is if you do have a subject there, you are going to have some issues. And so some things you can do is you can definitely desaturate a little bit. I found that you really can't push the saturation a whole lot. Also, when you're shooting a little bit, you might want to let the highlights go a little bit, let them clip a little bit, and that will help you expose your subject a whole lot better. But C-Log 1 is old. It's a bit of a problem on the R5. It is challenging to grade, and I'm not the only one. You find a lot of pros will have a little bit of a challenge with it as well, but I'm getting better at it. I'm learning its faults, and hopefully very soon we'll have C-Log 3. We're supposed to be getting a firmware update for the R5, the R6, and the 1DX Mark III. And C-Log 3, according to Canon, is definitely coming to the R5. So hopefully very soon. Today is what, the 23rd, 22nd? CP Plus is just in a few days. We have an announcement from Sony tomorrow. We have an announcement on the 26th. Nikon, I think it's Nikon, I can't remember. I'll update you guys on that later. It's just there's been an awful lot of news coming out lately. Things start to kind of fade a little bit. But I'm really impressed with the level of detail. And one thing I did notice, I've looked at all your comments. If you have a really good OLED capable set display, then yes, you're going to see the difference. You're going to see that extra detail in 4K and 8K. But if you don't, if you have an older set, you're not really going to see those benefits. And here's the thing, when you start to get into 4K, you want that detail in 8K, it's not just spending a lot of money on the camera, you also need to get a decent television set or display in order to get those vibrant colors. Because one thing I noticed when the very first thing that got me to purchase an OLED 4K TV, I got the LG, is when the credits were scrolling. Now normally when the credits are scrolling, you see a bit of a banding where the white credits are. You see the black background, it becomes a little bit lighter. But that's not the case here. With the OLED television from LG that I have, it's just amazing. There's no bleeding of light from adjacent pixels. It's truly incredible. And one last thing I do want to talk about before I end this video is this morning I published a video about a new operating system called the BOS, B-O-S. Check it out. Now, if you're not into operating systems, if you're not into that kind of technology, that's fine. But the reason I came out with this video is, believe it or not, a friend of mine had created an operating system from the ground up. I kid you not. It's a multi-user, preemptive multitasking system built from machine language. He didn't start off with C+ or anything like that. Everything is completely rewritten from the ground up. He didn't borrow libraries, nothing. Everything was designed to be optimized for speed and for lightweight compactness. So I'm really impressed with that. And I know it doesn't like I could make a stretch to have it fit into this channel, and it really doesn't. But I know I've got a wide range of people watching this channel. I've got a very smart audience, and if I can do anything to sort of help him along, get recognized, get noticed, that's the main purpose of this, is to get the word out. It's out there, it's on GitHub, and it's truly incredible. So go ahead and watch this video here if you want to know a bit more information about the new operating system, the BOS. I wonder if he can license a Springsteen song from that, because I think that would go along pretty good, don't you? Anyhow, that's it for now. Thank you so much for watching The Ordinary Filmmaker. Don't forget to subscribe for your chance to win 2 Angelbird 128GB AV Pro MK2 V90 UHS-2 SD cards, along with an Angelbird dual SD card reader. Or you could also win a Ulanzi LED light package with accent lights, underwater lights, and various other flat panel lights to help light your subject, or as a starter kit for starting your own channel. I'll be awarding these 2 prize bundles to 2 lucky viewers once the channel reaches 30,000 subscribers. Then I'll have other contests all the way up to 100,000, at which point I'll be awarding a brand new Canon EOS R5 full-frame mirrorless camera to 1 lucky viewer. And on that bombshell, thanks so much for watching The Ordinary Filmmaker. We'll see you again soon.